Hello there, John Hall from Right Here Pens. We're going to look at a new pen from Leonardo. What, you say? That's not a great surprise. Leonardo seem to bring pens out at a remarkable rate, and they do, and they're all lovely. But this one, I think, is pretty spectacular. So let's go and have a look at it now. Okay, here we are. So it's a Momento Zero, and really the centerpiece of the Leonardo collection. They are mid-size pens, cartridge converter, and very nice pens actually. Very popular. We sell a lot of them. There we go. Here we are, Leonardo. Made by hand in Italy, I think. And look at that. So this is the Pura Vida, a pen inspired by Costa Rica. But apparently, if somebody asks you how things are going, you will say, Pura Vida. Because life is good, life is pure, life is going well. Now look at the colours on this. Now I think that is quite a spectacular resin. And I'll tell you something for free, you're not going to get this pen nicked by a colleague because you'll spot him using it as soon as he gets it out of his pocket. It really is a beauty. So I'll come and look a little closer. I think it's also available with gold trim should you wish it. And of course the normal range of nibs. Extra fine, medium, broad, stub, and a couple of flex nibs. And this is one of them. Now this is a steel nib pen. The nibs are all made by Jovo, probably the premier nib maker to the world of pens. Anyone that doesn't make their own nibs by and large buys from Jovo these days. And curiously, I'm going to the Chester Pen Show, the Northern Pen Show, this coming weekend. That dates it, and Jovo have a table, so I'll go on and say hello to them actually. But let's come back to this. So it does look, I wonder if it's inspired by a cocktail of some sort actually. You see the various different levels here. Very nice indeed. Anyway, as with all Momento Zeros, as you can see, it's sort of a mid-sized pen. There we go. I think probably yes. You can impress your friends by pretending it's a captive converter and twiddling the converter's back end, if you see what I mean, should you wish to. So that cap goes back on again. And if we open up here, we will see that inside is an impressive, but by and large, fairly standard converter. And it will take the standard cartridge as well, so cartridge converter, whatever. But what might be slightly more interesting is the cutaways on the nib, and this indicates that it is a flex nib, and I think that says, does that say F or EF? I don't know, my eyes are dim, I cannot see, as they say. There we are. So that's what we've got there, and we're going to do a little writing test, which is going to test my writing ability far more than usual, because I'm going to have to reach around this to try and write with a flex nib. Oh, whatever next. Right, give me a moment, I'll be back. Okay, then just time to tell you a little bit more about the Momento Zero before I dip this and see how we get on. Firstly, to note the rather nice little roller here, so that you don't snag your shirt when you're popping it, or whatever it is you hang your pen onto. And also the word Leonardo is inscribed on the back of the cap. And, of course, on the nib. There we go. So, okay, so I said this is a flex nib. It's an extra fine flex. And it's steel. Now, I'm not usually, I'm not very good at writing at the best of times. And steel flex nibs aren't my favourite, so I'll have to see how we get on with this. Well, the first thing to say is it's quite pleasant to write with. There we go. So that works quite nicely. There's a bit of feedback from it. I don't know whether it's an extra fine, of course, so it's bound to be not quite as smooth as a broad or anything like that, because there's simply less in between the nib and the paper to reduce the friction. But let's see how we can get it to flex, if we can. So well, there we go, we can get it to flex a reasonable amount. A bit more ink required here, I think. The classic thing you're meant to do, I suppose, is something like that. And this is why I hate doing these demonstrations, because my writing is not up to it. But as you can see, you are getting a degree of flex. Personally, I find it quite hard work, but then maybe that's because I don't really have the patience for it, and I'm not one of nature's flex writers. Writers in general, it must be said. I can scrawl and it's useful, but handwriting is not my forte. But anyway, the nib's nice, but I think the pen is absolutely a stunner. So I leave you with the Leonardo Momento Zero Pura Vida